TGR.
Now, moving on to the future. This title update reminds me that there's going to be more title updates. That's going to happen, right? There's more title updates coming. But the game is out. The expansion is out. So now we look forward to these updates. We look forward to whatever DLC they add. But now the timer is off, right? The timer's going off for the next Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter 6. And I wrote sticky notes, right? I wrote sticky notes for things that I want in Monster Hunter 6, right? Things that I want them to keep, things that I would like them to bring back, things like that. So it's probably going to be World 2, by the way. There's just no what ifs or buts about it. World is Capcom's best-selling game, and they're going to want that subtitle in there somewhere. Number 1, Palamutes need to stay, right? Palamutes were a fantastic addition to the buddy system, and they can't go away. They have to come back. And, you know, I would like it if they could expand upon Palamutes and Palicos, but if they can keep all the secret abilities like this game and also the stuff that World brought in, I'd be perfectly content. Next, and actually going off your comment there, Chase, I do want wirebugs to return. Wirebugs have changed the mobility of the game in a good way, but they have to nerf it in one way or another. If they keep the wirebugs exactly the way they are, they're going to have to nerf them or make the monsters behave differently. The monsters are already more aggressive, they're already a bit faster, but it's still too easy to get away from things. It's too easy to survive because of the wirebug mobility. How cool would it be if there's a monster that attacks you, and the designers think about this. Most of the time, people kind of wirebug almost immediately. So imagine a monster attacks you, and the monster has like a bait attack where it's like the monster knows that you're gonna wirebug. So there's gonna be that buffer of frames where if you wirebug immediately or within those first couple of seconds, it'll do a follow-up attack and hit you. There's something like that kind of similar right now, but not every monster has that. Right? It's not like coded so every monster can have an attack like that. That would be a good way to nerf the wirebug in a organic way within the game and what the game gives you. Next, I want current gen graphics or next gen graphics, but I want less clutter. World looked beautiful, but my god, there was so much shit to see on screen. So I would want it to be more like Rise's world design with like the nice graphics that we're able to get from a PS5 and a Series X and of course PC. Spirit birds are a welcome addition, just like Endemic Life is, but all those things make the game so much more easier, right? In Endemic Life, like think about it, right? If you get a blast toad, a paratoad, a sleep toad, a puppet spider, the marionette spider, right? You obviously can't carry all of them, but if you want, you can use some of them, do the damage, leave, pick up the other ones, come back, and keep finding them. That's a lot of and then you have your natural paralysis from your weapon, your buddies, your other 3 hunters if you're hunting in a group. Like, there's just so many ways to affect the monster and make it stop in some way or another. They need to think about this because the game is just way easier nowadays. I remember having to go back to camp because I ran out of potions, right, during some of the harder fights or the huntathons. Like, I remember doing huntathons in 3U and 4U and having to go back to fucking camp to rest, to heal, because I ran out of items. You don't do that anymore. You're good, you know? So definitely they need to look back at the challenge of Monster Hunter, because if the Soul series can sell as well as it is now, Elden Ring, for example, they can look at this and think like, okay, let's bring some of that challenge back, because that challenge is part of what made Monster Hunter so goddamn incredible in the first place. I want Switch skills to stay. They really need to. A lot of the ones they added to this game made the weapons feel really, really, really good. So Switch skills really need to stay for the next Monster Hunter game. And speaking of weapons, It's time for a new weapon. The last new weapon that we got was during the 4th generation, so Monster Hunter 4. We got the Insect Glaive and the Charge Blade. Monster Hunter 4, if I recall correctly, came out like either 2014 Japan or 2015 Japan. But it's been a long ass time. It's time to make a new weapon, guys. It's been 8 years. I don't know what they could do. Maybe they can bring weapons from Frontier, where Espinus is from. They could bring some weapons from there, you know, because there's a lot of different weapons over there too. So, new weapons. That's all I'm saying. Also, with the new game, like they did with World, I want an increase or an increased focus on new monsters. Rise brought in a good number of monsters, with Sunbreak included, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't as many as I would have liked, especially the expansion. Like Sunbreak definitely left me a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but it a little deflated. I wanted more new monsters. And we got a good number of them. We really did. And the additions were fantastic, right? Ludagaron, Garangol, Malzeno. Fantastic additions. It'd be nice if we got more new monsters with the next Monster Hunter game. Also, more focus on the prep. Spirit Birds can kind of be seen as a preparation to fight the monster, except, you know, in the older games, you had to, like, eat, right? You had to, like, gather your stuff. But also, you had to, like, find the monster, right? You had to, like, go into the world, into the area that you're gonna fight the monster, and you have to like find it. You literally have to go to areas from area trying to find it, and that was unique, right? It was archaic if you want to see it that way, but it also made you feel like you were actually tracking down a monster. With World, they added the scout flies, which I absolutely hated. It was like essentially a pointer, like a fucking arrow, like Crazy Taxi and shit, that was right in front of you, but except it was organically part of the world. I didn't like the scout flies, and with Rise, it just literally tells you where the monster is. It's kind of brain dead, right? Like, if you're going to tell me where the monster is, just fucking put me in front of the monsters, you know? But then you have the Spirit Birds and the endemic life, so that's like the prep for Rise. After a while, it kind of got old, especially in the maps that are kind of big. And you have to go around this whole, 5 to 10 minute adventure trying to get all the Spirit Bursts, all the endemic life you want to prep for the hunt. Good idea. I just think the execution needed a little bit more refining. So if they decide to keep the Spirit Birds, figure it out. Make it a little better. And lastly, just I want them to go back with that idea. I want them to go back to making it feel like a hunt. In this game, because you have so many things going on, it feels like you're just beating up on a monster. And that's fine. Again, the power fantasy of Rise and Sunbreak are that you're a super strong hunter. So it makes the hunt, like, you're strong. You're a strong hunter. It makes you feel cool. It makes you feel good. But you are beating the fuck out of these monsters. At points, it doesn't feel challenging. And I don't need every game to be difficult. I don't need the next Monster Hunter to be as difficult as Elden Ring. I really don't. But I want the challenge again. It's really fun when you're going toe-to-toe with these monsters and you're just trying to survive and trying to have, like, trying to experiment with your weapons and, like, what you can get away with. And I don't know, like, traps nowadays are used to obviously capture the monster, but of course they're also used to, like, stagger them from leaving. Where, like, in the older games, it always felt like, holy shit, if I'm going to use my traps to not capture a monster, it's because they're kicking my ass and I need some breathing room. So we'll see. But that's really it. That's really all I want from a future Monster Hunter game. So I don't know what Capcom is thinking. I don't know what their main team is thinking. I don't even know when the next game would come out. With the title updates now, I think after Iceborne, it lasted between 6 months to a year. I don't remember the exact date. A couple of months after that, we finally got to see Rise. We saw Rise at, what was it, the Game Awards 2020, I think? Point is, we've probably got about a year before we know what the next Monster Hunter will be if it doesn't leak beforehand. At the earliest, if the title updates are done for Rise, and yeah, maybe next E3 we'll see the next Monster Hunter. And yeah, I hope that the team can deliver an even better experience, and I hope they don't, I hate to say it, but I just hope they don't go too casual, because this game sold very well, and World sold very well, and World did a lot of quality of life stuff. A lot of quality of life stuff that I liked, and a lot that made it feel a little bit too casual. But World still had difficulty, and Iceborne in particularly had monsters that genuinely one-shot you, so we'll just have to see. Maybe with the title update, somebody will turn around and kick my ass. Who knows? But yeah, only time will tell.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more and stay up to date, subscribe, hit the little bell, and join our Discord. If you want to support the channel, please check out our Patreon or hit the join button below. As always, thanks for your support and thanks for watching.